Football. I'm Kevin Arrow, coming to you live from Sam's Memorial Stadium in Brownsville, Texas. You're tuning into ValleyCentral.com live video and audio, and this is a big 32 6A district matchup between a pair of Brownsville schools. Those are the Brownsville Rivera Raiders and the Brownsville Hanna Golden Eagles. Now, a lot happened last night. In case you just missed it, Harlingen South upset San Benito. Los Fresnos got a home win against Veterans Memorial. So we're going to run through this district real quick. San Benito is 5-1. Los Fresnos is 4-1. Harlingen High 4-2. This is where it gets interesting. Veterans Memorial 3-3. Rivera 2-2. Brownsville Hanna 2-3. Harlingen South 2-4, but are still alive in the playoff picture. As for these Hanna Eagles, they would have to win out and get some help from Rivera in order to make the playoffs. If Rivera wants to make the playoffs, they would also have to win out and get some help from Veterans Memorial as well. So both these teams, this is essentially a playoff game, because if you lose, technically you could be mathematically eliminated with one more week to go. For these Hanna Eagles, it's their last two games are tough. They have this one against Rivera, the next week at home against the Los Fresnos Falcons. So these Eagles and these Raiders are definitely playing for something here tonight. Eagles will be kicking off from right to left. The Raiders won the toss and have elected to receive the opening kickoff. Here we go, Saturday Night Football at Sam Stadium, and we're underway. It's a short kick. Raiders are going to take this one out at the 10. At the 15 to the 18-yard lines where they'll down it. Danny Elizondo, the starting quarterback for the Raiders, will come out. And as for these Raiders, last season, they started out, I believe it was 0-2 in district play. Then they went on a magical run. They clinched a playoff berth. Then they went on to beat, I believe it was McAllen Memorial, Mac High in the first round, and that was a huge upset. And this Raiders team, again, as bad as they were at the beginning of the year, they stringed together a couple of wins, and they're right back in that playoff picture. So the Raiders, they're that team that's been there, done that. Their offense on the field, ball on the 19-yard line. First play from scrimmage. Elizondo, the signal caller. Mario Mendez is the running back. He's to the right of Elizondo. And it's going to be a design quarterback run to the right, up the right hash, lowering his shoulder to the 30-yard line. One play, and that should be good enough for a Raider first down.
Tackle made by number 17, Freddie Mercado.
And indeed it is. One play and a first down.
Again, the Raiders a first down.
Ball on the 30-yard line. Three receivers to the left, one to the right. That's Chris Zuniga. We'll keep an eye on him tonight. And it'll be a handoff. Picks up 1 yard on the carry. So the Raiders coming in with a 3-2 district record, 3-5 overall. They're really just banking their season on week-to-week momentum. We'll talk about their defense in just a bit on how vastly they've improved. 4 receivers set, 2nd and 9 after the pickup of 1 from Mendez. Raiders opening possession. Elizondo back to pass. That's complete. 35 to the 37-yard line. Got Zuniga on the reception. Both Sammy Oribe and Edward Rubio, the top 2 targets in this offense. 3rd and 3 now coming up.
And that'll bring up 3rd down for the Raiders.
Eagles defense looking for a stop. We know these Raiders can put up some points. Augie Martinez will be the motion man. Be a 4 receiver set, 1 back to the right of Elizondo. And another design quarterback run, picking up the first down. Danny Elizondo lowering his shoulder, looking for contact. That's the quarterback, folks. So a nice run from Elizondo, and another Raider first down. Slowly, surely, moving the ball down the field.
That'll give the Rivera Raiders a first down.
Three receivers to the left, and Elizondo changing the play along the offensive line. 1st and 10, ball on the 44, 9:35 opening quarter. Mendez handoff to the outside, 45-50, midfield, 45 all the way down to the 40, and they're in Eagle territory. So far, so good if you're a Raiders fan.
Number 32, Mario Mendez, the ball carrier. Tackle made by number 4, Alexis Rangel.
It's going to be another first down for Rivera, 1st and 10. Ball on the 40. 4 receivers set, 1 back to the right of Elizondo. Elizondo back to pass, has time, steps up. That pass is incomplete, looking for Oribe. 2nd and 10, clock stops at 8:59.
Bring up second down for the Raiders.
So again, this district really shaping up last night, and then the big one being Harlingen South upsetting San Benito. Now Rivera wins tonight. That means next week the stage would be even bigger. The Raiders will finish their season at San Benito. Another design quarterback run to the right. Elizondo trying to pick up a block, cuts it back up. The 34-yard line.
Number 13, Danny Elizondo with the quarterback.
Nestro Benavides, the man there to make the tackle for the Eagles. 3rd and 6 coming up, 8:42, opening quarter. Nonetheless, an impressive drive from these Raiders. Andy Lopez, the starting quarterback for Hanna, waiting to get his shot. 2 of the better quarterbacks in this district here tonight, and Lopez and Elizondo. Trips right, motion man for the Raiders. Elizondo shotgun, play action. Out in the flats, wide open. 30-yard line to the 25, to the 20. Down at the 17-yard line. And another big 3rd down conversion and a fresh set of downs for the Raiders. And this is an impressive drive, to say the least. This is the way you want to get a game started. It's your head coach, Tom Chavez. 1st and 10. 17-yard line. Raiders in all black unis, black helmets. 7:45 on their opening drive. Raiders looking to get on the board first. Shotgun, Elizondo to his right. Has a man open, caught at the 20. 15 down to the 10. That's Chris Zuniga, again, his 2nd catch of this drive. And these Raiders doing what they want on offense. They want to throw it, they can throw it. They want to run it, they can run it. Pickup of 9, 2nd and 1, ball on the 8. Elizondo out of the shotgun, design, quarterback run into the end zone, touchdown Raiders. Danny Elizondo finds the end zone on their opening drive. Raiders 6, Eagles nothing, the extra point coming up. That's an impressive drive from these Raiders, letting the Eagles know that they are here and they are ready to go. The extra point, Elizondo the holder. The extra point is up. And it is good. 7:28, opening quarter, Raiders 7, Eagles nothing. You're watching ValleyCentral.com.
7:28 to go in the first quarter with the score. The Raiders 7, Golden Eagles 0. Picking up for the Raiders is number 14, Shalene Martinez. back to receive the kickoff for the Golden Eagles, number 12, Jaime Gonzalez, and number 15, Lucas Olivares.
Welcome back to the action after that touchdown run from Danny Elizondo gives the Raiders an early 7-0 lead. Now the Eagles will have their hands on the football for the first time tonight. Looking to answer. It's a short kick. That's a live football. Ball's on the turf. Raiders recover. Talk about a nightmarish start for the Eagles. Raiders come out swinging. It's not a good play on the special teams from Brownsville, Hanna. All the momentum right now is in favor of these Raiders, and it's something that I've seen in this Hanna team. In my own opinion, when I've seen them play, they're more of a second half team, and they make those adjustments at halftime. But in a big game like this, in a big stage like this, you got to come out swinging, just like these Raiders did. Now the Raiders will take over. Ball on the 13-yard line. They're deep in Eagle territory, and they're looking to grab a 2-score lead early on. Elizondo out of the shotgun. Mendez, the running back, and another design quarterback run from Danny Elizondo. And again, we talked about this district and how big this football game is. We're going to try and grab a special guest later here tonight. He may or may not come, but I'll let you know when he's here so we can talk this district here. I can tell you one thing, he will be patrolling these sidelines, I'll tell you that much. Elizondo the quarterback, another design quarterback run. Elizondo end zone, touchdown Raiders. Just like that, 13-0. Rivera has the lead. Extra point coming up. It's not broke, why fix it, right? It's another good play call from this Raiders coaching staff, and they're up 13-0 with the extra point coming up. The extra point, fumbled the football. Elizondo fires this one up. That's up, back of the end zone, good. It's just that kind of night for these Raiders. Edward Rubio coming down with the football in the back of the end zone. They're looking for the extra point. Elizondo dropped the snap. Luckily for their holders, the quarterback, Elizondo, eyes down the field, lofts one up, bringing the feet down. Great replay there from this Porter student body, folks. 15-0. Raiders lead the Eagles. 6:40 in the opening quarter. You're watching ValleyCentral.com.
Picking up for the Rivera Raiders is number 14, Janine Martinez. Back to receive the kickoff for the Golden Eagles, number 12, Jaime Gonzalez, number 15, Lucas Olivares.
Well, welcome back to the action. We've had 15 points here in the first quarter, and they've all been scored by these Rivera Raiders. And here's the kickoff. We'll try it again. Eagles taking this one out at the 15 to the 20, running hard. 28-yard lines where he'll get stopped.
Number 15, Lucas Olivares with the kickoff return. Tackle was made by number 88, Joel Rodriguez.
Rodriguez on the tackle for the Raiders. So what about this Brownsville Hanna squad? They come in with a 3-4 record, 2-3 in district play. And they're sporting the third best offense in the district. They rank third, and they have 326 yards per game. They're led by their quarterback, Andy Lopez. Lopez, listed as a junior, has quite a good arm from what I've seen. Very athletic. Tough kid. He's also completing 70% of his passes And this air raid attack from the Golden Eagles, down by 15. You can bet your money they're going to have to go to the air, but this time they'll stick to the ground game. Now the chance Raiders throughout the home side. Again, we're coming to you live from Sam's Memorial Stadium in Brownsville, Texas. 6:18 in the opening quarter, and a pair of touchdowns from Danny Elizondo via the fumbled return of the Hanna Eagles. Raiders able to take advantage. Eagle offense on the field. Keep an eye on Lucas Olivares, folks. He had a big game in last week's win over Harlingen South. Hauled in 7 catches for 176 yards and a pair of touchdowns. Olivares will be the main target for Lopez, and that'll be an option play, and it goes nowhere. This defense for Rivera, let's not sleep on them. They have the best defense in the district, only allowing 250 yards per game. So when you get the #1 defense going against the #3 offense, something's got to give. You're looking at the yard differential with the third best offense with 326 yards per game going against the #1 defense, when they're only allowing 250 yards per game. So the Eagles facing a 3rd and 10, 4 receiver set. Lopez back to pass, has time, steps up, fires a strike, nearly intercepted by the Raiders on the far side. That was Edward Velasquez breaking that pass up, brings up 4th and 10 with 5:14. The Eagles are going to have to punt this one away. Both Oribe and Rubio back to return this punt.
Back to receive the punt for the Raiders is number 2, Edward Rubio.
Breaking the huddle.
Back to punt for the Golden Eagles, number 1, Andy Lopez.
It's going to be a high punt. Raiders. Football's on the ground. Raiders recover at the 39-yard line. Close one there. They're elected not to call a fair catch. So Rivera will take over. Already with a 15-0 lead. 5:05 first quarter. So out come the Raiders. Ball is going to be spotted on the 37-yard line. Elizondo, the quarterback. 3 receivers, 2 his right, 1 to the left. Elizondo back to pass. Fires that one up. Flags come in. Did he catch the ball on the 25-yard line? Yes, he did. Sammy Oribe with a nice catch. Flags on the field, though. We're going to wait and see what the call is.
Flag on the play.
There's also an injured Eagle. So we're going to take a timeout on the field with the injured Eagle, then we'll get the call. Timeout on the field. We're going to take a timeout up here. 4:56. Raiders 15. Eagles nothing. You're watching
Holding defense, number 17. That penalty declined. Rivera will take the result of the play. 1st and 10.
Welcome back to the action. It was a holding against Hanna, and the injured Hanna player was able to get up on his own power. So after that big catch from Oribe, he sets up the Raiders in good field position. Once again, you're tuning in to valleycentral.com. Live video and audio, KBSD 17, BISD football. And it'll be a handoff to the right side. Met back at the 25-yard line. Good stop defensively from the Eagles. Picks up 1 on the carry. It'll be a 2nd and 9. Second and 9 coming up, 4:18 in the opening quarter. Raiders looking to extend their lead. Handoff up the middle. Picks up 2, maybe 3, depends on the spot. Nueva on the carry. This will pick up, they'll give them the 3 yards. 3rd and 7 now. So again, both teams fighting for their playoff lives, looking to stay alive in the picture, and a loss here for either team would essentially eliminate them. Now you got a motion man right to left. Quick snap. Elizondo hauled it in. Fires a pass to the flats, complete at the 19-yard line. Augie Martinez on the reception. So now you're in a spot here, 4th and 4. Looks like the Raiders are keeping their offense on the turf. They'll be going for it. Why not? You're in that territory where you could either go for it or kick the field goal. Now the officials are going to discuss something on the 25-yard line.
Clock operator, please adjust the game clock to 3:42. 3:42. The clock will start at
The clock issue
32.
there.
32.
The officials saying to reset the game clock from 3:25 to 3:42. So just a little clock management there. The officials are taking over, and he's.
Thank you.
All right, there you go. Clock's adjusted.
4th down for the Raiders.
4th and 4. Ball on the 19. Elizondo, the quarterback. We'll have trips right. 1 lone receiver to the left, top of your screen. 1 back to the right. Martinez, the motion man. And it's a crossing pattern going to the end zone. Touchdown, Raiders. Edward Rubio hauls it in. 21-0. Raiders have the lead. Extra point coming up. Raiders looking to extend their lead. 21-0 is your score. Snaps there. The extra point is up. And it is good. Raiders 22. Eagles nothing. 3:23. Opening quarter. You're watching valleycentral.com.
3:23 to go in the first quarter with the score. The Raiders 22, Golden Eagles 0. Kicking off for the Raiders is number 14, Jalene Martinez. Back to receive the kickoff for the Hanna Golden Eagles, number 7, Marco Garcia. And number 12, Jaime Gonzalez.
So through the first majority of this first quarter, folks, it's been all Raiders. They lead the Eagles 22-0. This offense really just dominating, doing what they want to do. Eagles Ready to take this one out at the 15 to the 20-yard line. 25, 30, 35, 40. Blockers in front of him, crossing midfield, cutting it back up to the 41-yard line. Big time return there, and that's exactly what these Eagles needed. Again, we're still in the first quarter, folks. Plenty of time for these Eagles to get something going. We've seen it before. They trailed big against San Benito. They trailed big against Veterans Memorial a few weeks back. Somehow, some way, they made adjustments. They managed to get their way back into this football game. So if you're the Raiders, you can't let up on this Eagles squad. They can explode at any moment. 3-receiver set. Lopez out of the shotgun. Handoff, looking for a hole up the middle. Big run, 30, weaving his way through defenders at the 26-yard line. That's Jaime Gonzalez on the carry. Jaime Gonzalez and Brando Barrera, the two featured backs for the Golden Eagles. First and 10, ball on the 21. 3 receivers set, handoff again. 20 to the 25-yard line. That's Gonzalez. Big drive here for these Eagles. They allow those touchdowns. They're down 22-0, and you know they can find the end zone here. Maybe they can get something going. And again, it's latter stages of this first quarter. Plenty of time in this one for these Eagles to get back in it. A touchdown here would help that cause. They are in the red zone. First time tonight. 3 receivers set. Lopez out of the shotgun. 2 backs set. Looking to his right. Quick curl route at the 19. That's complete. When you're down by this much early on, a lot of teams will seem to lose focus and just shy away from their game plan. But these Eagles so far are sticking to Eagles football, and that's throwing the football around and trying to get some kind of running game going. And so far, they're sticking to what they do best. Lopez handoff. Then at the line of scrimmage, maybe they'll give him 1. Again, that was Gonzalez on the carry. Now it's a 4th and 2. It's decision time for these Eagles. The Eagles offense is going to stay out on the field. 4th and 3. 19-yard line. Lopez looking to his left. Being flushed out. Chased from behind. Has to get rid of it, and he does. Incomplete pass. Turnover on downs. That's going to be an incomplete pass. Turnover on downs. The officials were briefly looking around for maybe an intentional grounding, but they're not going to get it. So 1st and 10 for the Raiders, already up 22-0. That's a big stop defensively for these Raiders. You give up a big play and a big return. The Eagles offense can't capitalize. Raiders back out onto the turf. 1st and 10, 1 minute remaining in the opening quarter. Tuning into valleycentral.com, live video and audio. Some Saturday night action. Elizondo, a handoff. Trying to bounce it to the outside, and he's greeted by... Clock will continue to wind down here in the opening quarter. Again, this game has every feel to a playoff game. Both teams knocking on the playoffs, looking to clinch a spot. Of course, neither team would clinch a spot with a win tonight, but moving forward, that would definitely take a step in the right direction. 2nd and 10, 25 seconds. Elizondo coming from the gun. He'll fake the handoff over the middle. Deep ball diving. Can't make the catch as Rubio. 16 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. Now it brings up 3rd and 10. 16 seconds, 3rd and 10. Now if you're the Eagles, you'd love a stop here. Elizondo stepping back to pass, fires this one, that's up. Incomplete, overshoots his man. He was looking for Joey Silva. Clock stops with 11 seconds. Quick 3 and out. Good stop defensively from those Eagles.
That'll bring up 4th down for the Raiders. Back to punt for the Raiders is number 14, Chadin Martinez. Back to receive the punt for the Golden Eagles, number 12, Jaime Gonzalez.
Jaime Gonzalez back to return this punt. 11 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Snaps there, punts away. And Gonzalez is going to let this one bounce, and the ball will die. The 47-yard lines where they'll spot it. That's where the Eagles will take over. And that brings us to the end of the first quarter. At the end of 1, Brownsville Rivera 22, Brownsville Hanna nothing. You're watching ValleyCentral.com as we head to the second quarter. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the action. Second quarter. I'm Kevin Naro. We're coming to you live from Sam's Memorial Stadium in Brownsville, Texas. And an all-important 32-6A matchup featuring a pair of Brownsville schools. That's the Rivera Raiders and the Hanna Golden Eagles. You're tuning into ValleyCentral.com. First quarter, we saw the Raiders come out swinging and a pair of touchdown runs from Danny Elizondo to give them a 15-0 lead. Then Elizondo found Rubio to extend their lead 22-0 towards the tail end of that first quarter. And you got that muffed return, which led to the second touchdown for these Eagles. Kind of spiraling backwards, but these last 2 drives have been impressive. Lopez back to pass, hit as he was throwing, balls in the air, and that falls incomplete.
Pass falls incomplete.
Brings up 3rd and 5 now.
That'll bring up 3rd down for the Golden Eagles.
Third and 5, 11-14, second quarter, early second quarter. Lopez back to pass, steps up, that pass tipped and incomplete. Now both offenses are exchanging punts here. Previous drives for both teams. Defense is starting to tighten up a little bit and starting to make adjustments. 4th and 5. Golden Eagles huddling up. They'll break the huddle. And here's the punt. This one will take a bounce. He fielded at about the 18-yard line, and that's where the Raiders will take over. They lead 22-0. 10:58 here in the second quarter. They're playing through all these NFL theme songs here tonight. They went through the Sunday theme song on Fox. Now they got the NBC theme song going on here tonight. A little taste of the NFL. I'm sure these players get a kick out of it. Like some NFL music while they're out there on the field. Elizondo takes over. 1st and 10, ball on the 18-yard line. Elizondo back to pass, fires that one, nearly intercepted by the Eagles. Randy Delgado nearly picked that one off. I tell you what, he had his eyes on 6.
passes in for number 12, Adi Martinez. That'll bring up second down for the Raiders.
Second and 10. Raiders dodging a bullet that time. Elizondo, design quarterback run. Big hole up the middle for Elizondo. There he goes, cuts it up. 45-40, Elizondo to the 30, 25, Elizondo down the sideline all the way down inside the 5. Big time run from their quarterback, Danny Elizondo. There's an injured Eagle down at the 24-yard line. Beautiful run from Elizondo. Trying to spot this one on the 5-yard line with an injured Eagle. We're going to take a timeout up here. You're watching ValleyCentral.com. Welcome back to the action, and now the Raiders knocking on the door after that big run from Elizondo. First and goal, ball's on the 5. Elizondo, handoff, left side. Fighting to get into the end zone, he's down at the 1. That's Gueva on the carry.
Tackle made by number 3, Ernesto Benavides.
So ball's on the 1-yard line.
Goal to go for the Raiders.
Trying to really put a dent in this one for the Eagles. Quarterback sneak up the middle. That's going to be a touchdown. Touchdown Raiders. And the quarterback sneak. And there's confusion on the field. Elizondo trying to explain to the referee.
Timeout. Rivera, number 13, will be allowed to return since the team called a timeout when this helmet came off.
So by the looks of it, the thing Rivera called a timeout before they got into the end zone. I think that's what the case is because they have the football on the 2-yard line. Unless he scored the touchdown and after the touchdown they called a timeout, one or the other. And there's a bit of confusion here at Sam's. 9:58, second quarter. Well, the points are they're still up on the board, so it still has 28. So the timeout must have happened after they scored the touchdown. I think that's what the case is going to be, and the officials were kind of confused whether a timeout was called or not. So the touchdown will stand, of course. So the timeout must have come after the fact that they scored because they're lining up for the extra point. So the extra point coming up. The extra point is up. Flags will come in.
flag on the play.
Now we're going to get the call from the official, see what the penalty is.
Personal foul. Leaping on the defense.
Personal foul going
number
against
50.
the
The
defense,
penalty
so
will be
the extra
assessed
point
on the kickoff.
will stand. It's 29-0 Raiders with 9:58 remaining in the first half. You're watching ValleyCentral.com.
Touchdown roll is made by number 13, Danny Elizondo. Extra point attempt is good. 9:58 to go in the second quarter with a score. The Raiders 29, Golden Eagles 0. Kicking off for the Raiders is number 14, Shalene Martinez. Next receiving the kickoff for the Golden Eagles, number 12, Jaime Gonzalez.
And welcome back to ValleyCentral.com. After that touchdown, it's all Raiders 29-0. And Joe Bowling is up here with me in the press box for the moment, at least.
Yeah, good to be here and good to get off my feet. It's been a long day so far, Kevin Naro. And hey, how about these Raiders?
These Raiders are doing exactly what their head coach Tom Chavez ordered them to do, and that's come out and play Raider football. As for these Eagles, it's going to be a kick return to the 25-yard line. I saw you stroll in, and when you came, opening drive for those Raiders was probably the best drive I've seen all year, bar none. They marched right down the field, did what they wanted to do. When they run it, they ran it. When they wanted to throw it, they threw it. And you know Danny Elizondo, we're fans of his, and he definitely picked apart that defense.
And Kevin, you're talking about a team, as I walked up and down the sidelines, poised in what is in essence a big game. It's a playoff game. It has been a playoff game since they lost their 6th in a row to start this season, and so we'll get to this in just a minute, but there's some big things on the horizon for this Raider team.
1st and 10, Eagles with the football out of the shotgun as Lopez. Handoff, picks up 1, maybe 2. Again, that's Jaime Gonzalez on the carry. Well, you're right about this Raiders squad, and you could have asked for a better start, but as for these Eagles, they've kind of just taken 1 step forward and 2 steps back. They had that fumbled return, which led to that second Elizondo touchdown. But I've always seen these Eagles somewhat of a second-half team. They go in at halftime, they make adjustments. But I mentioned earlier, you can't be putting yourselves in big holes like this early in games.
And as good as this defense is, Kevin, you don't want to put yourself in a position where you have to do one thing, and that is throw the football, because then you become one-dimensional, and against a good defense, you're going to be in trouble, even more so.
Flushed out of the pocket is Lopez, 30, 35, 40, and he'll step out of bounds. And again, they're going to need that man to step up big and have a special night if they want to come back and win this one. That's Andy Lopez.
The funnest part of this, Kevin, is that coming into this one, you're talking about two teams that are definitely fighting for their playoff lives, because in this district, it is literally still up in the air with a lot to be decided still yet.
Absolutely. First thing I talked about when I went on air was the second part of that 32-6A district. 1st and 10 on the 41. Quick swing pass. That's complete, crossing the 40-41. Shakes one man, trying to bounce it to the outside. Still on his feet. Good running there on the 45-yard line. And absolutely, you get that second half. You have Veterans Memorial, who lost last night. They're 3-3. Rivera 2-2. Hanna 2-3. And then you said earlier, Harlingen South, even at 2-4, still has a slim shot of making the playoffs.
Yeah, I thought they were 2-3, or they had only lost 3 losses. So 4 losses, I don't think is going to get you there. The curious one there is that Los Fresnos 4-1. Is that their record? Where's their 6th game so far?
Los Fresnos, they'll take on these Hanna Eagles next week here at Sam's. That's
Okay.
a run into Raider territory. And then I talked about that Harlingen South, how big that win is. upsetting San Benito and how it just reshapes this district. Because then you get Los Fresnos playing Hanna next week, San Benito playing Rivera. If Rivera holds on and wins here, then the next week is definitely an even bigger game for them, as will be for San Benito.
Yeah, it really comes down to, I mean, you're looking at two of the teams that are going to shape and or be a part of the playoffs representing 32-6A.
And off to the left side, tripped up from behind, and a good tackle from Armando Oscosa.
Again, Harlingen South kind of threw the big curve at the entire mess here of 32-6A with that victory last week. It hands San Benito their first loss in the district play. Los Fresnos sitting there with a loss in district play. Again, I'm looking at 4-1, and I'm looking at what is that sixth game, because at the end of this night, everyone should have those 6 games in.
That pass complete at the 39 to the 40, so slowly but surely these Eagles are starting to move the football.
Oh, I know what it is, Kev. San Benito is just 4-1. They're not 5-1 in district play. They're 4-1. I'm not sure where these standings come from, because we'll get into this in just a minute. Let me borrow your pencil. We'll do some scribbling here.
Meantime, Eagles facing a 3rd and 1. That's going to be a handoff. Should be good enough for a first down.
Yeah, this district is comprised of 7 teams. 8 teams. So everyone's going to play 7 district games. You with me so far? Agreed there?
Got it.
San Benito at 5-1 with 1 game remaining. That'll be their 7 games. The best they can be is 6-1. The worst they can be is 5-2. That's San Benito.
Lopez looking deep down the left, throwing in a double coverage. Incomplete. No flags on the field. Again, good coverage from this Raiders secondary.
Los Fresnos has 1 game remaining, or do they have 2?
Los Fresnos has 1 more against. They won last night against Vets Memorial. Los Fresnos will play Hanna next Saturday.
Then we have to take a look at their schedule. They have beaten San Benito. No, they lost to San Benito. That was their 1 loss. They've beaten Harlingen High, Brownsville Veterans, beaten Rivera,
Hanna next week,
beaten Harlingen South, and beaten Lopez. So they are 5-1, not 4-1.
Deep ball to the right side, intercepted by the Raiders at the 10, 15 to the 20. Room in front of them, the 40-yard line to the 45, and it's another turnover for these Eagles. And the Raiders will pick that one off. Edward Velasquez, the man who intercepted.
There again, Kevin, they are looking at a one-dimensional Hanna team now that has got to throw the football, and we know how good this Rivera defense can be, and if they don't have to guess at what you're doing, they become a lot better football team, and they can drop back the extra guys for coverage, as the case there for the interception.
Yeah, they're ranked number 1 in the district, only allowing 250 yards per game, so you certainly know what these Raiders can do defensively. And again, we're trying to dissect. And,
yeah, the best Los Fresnos can be is 6-1. The worst they can be is 5-2, and that is if they lose to Hanna next week, they would be 5-2. Best they can be is 6-1.
Elizondo pumps once, hit as he was thrown. Deep ball, incomplete, looking for Uribe. Clock stops 5:56. Joe Bowling joining me up here, and we're kind of breaking down what's left of this 32-6A district. Lots to be written.
Harlingen sitting at 4-2, so the best they can be is 5-2. The worst they can be would be 4-3. That's where Harlingen will sit. Veterans Memorial, the best they can be is 4-3. The worst they could be is 3-4. Rivera. This is where they've got a few games missing in their schedule here. As you see, they have a record of 2-2 in district play. They've played a few more games than that. They are winners. Okay, they've lost to Los Fresnos, Harlingen, and Veterans Memorial. Correct? Those are their 3 losses. They have victories over
Third down for the Raiders.
South Lopez trying to take care of business against Hanna.
And they still got to play San Benito next week.
So they are 2-3. 5, 6, nope.
Elizondo blitz looking for the quick screen. 45-50. That pass completes to Mario Mendez. On 3rd and 7, Raiders able to convert, pick up a first down.
Tackle made by number 3, and Benavidez.
Rivera has beaten South and beaten Lopez. That's the only 2 district wins they have, correct? So they are
4:54, second quarter. Elizondo, the quarterback, trips right, one lone receiver to his left. And Raiders have a big lead, 29-0. Late in the first half, they'll give a handoff. That play goes nowhere. A big stop from the Eagle defense. It's going to be Chris Senna on the tackle for a big loss. Clock continuing to wind down.
Who won that game, Kevin?
That's Memorial.
Okay, so the best at the end of tonight, Rivera will be 3-3. So the best Rivera could be is 4-3, and the worst they could be is 3-4. That's with a win tonight and then a win next week. They become a 4-3 team in this district.
So are they missing a game?
And 3 and 4. Yeah, they're missing a game in San. There are only 4 games there. There should be.
That's Rivera.
They're missing
a game.
Yeah.
Elizondo looking for that pass incomplete. Overshooting his man, Augie Martinez. But nonetheless, it's still a
Oh yeah, well
district that we're still
we'll get there because
yeah.
they're 2-3 right now. What you're looking at here is 2-2, but they're 2-3 in district play, which is the same record that Hanna has coming into tonight's game. Hanna, barring a big comeback here, down 29-0 fans in the second quarter with 3:58 remaining, is going to drop their 4th game, and so the best they could be is 3-4. And the worst they could be would be 2-5. And Harlingen South is going to be sitting in the same position.
Elizondo fumbled the football, still on the ground. I think the Raiders were able to recover it at the last possible second. That'll set up a 4th down to the Raiders. They're going to have to punt this one away, and this defense for the Eagles again comes up with a stop. We're just going over this 32-6A district. And talk about throwing a wrench into that district standings with Harlingen South's win over San Benito. And I was at the Los Fresnos game last night. It was 0-0 at halftime. Then Los Fresnos was able to take control of that ball game in the 3rd quarter, winning it 21-0 over really an injury-plagued team in Veterans Memorial. There's a flag on the field at the 40-yard line.
This entire thing is crystal ball what-if scenario for this district, which will be up for grabs next week as a result of that San Benito loss. Because Los Fresnos taking on Hanna could win. They would be assured, at worst, a share of the district title. San Benito needs to win. If they win, they could win the district title outright. If they win and Los Fresnos wins, however, then it is a co-district championship, despite the fact they own the tiebreaker. Nice punt right there.
So again, folks, a lot's to be written here, and we still got one more week left in district play. This is, of course, the 32-6A district. Again, that game last night made all the difference with San Benito losing to Harlingen South. Now, was that game at Bogus Stadium? Or
yes, sir. Bogus Stadium.
Harlingen, so that's a leg up for the Hawks. 1st and 10, ball on the 8-yard line. Eagles trail big, 29-0. 3 minutes left here in the first half. Some Saturday night action. To the ground game, lowering his shoulder to the 11 to 10-yard line. We'll see where they spot it.
Veterans Memorial, who do they play next week, Kev?
Veterans Memorial takes on Lopez, Brownsville Lopez. Brownsville Lopez, so.
Well, here's how this is most likely shaping out. Let's say Rivera runs the table, wins here and wins next week against San Benito.
In San Benito, mind you. So.
That's good defense,
yeah.
Good defense, nothing to lose, but I think it's going to be too little too late for Rivera, if I'm looking at this correctly, because Harlingen wins next week. They
Dead
go
ball.
5-2.
Personal foul.
With the
Number
San Benito
6,
loss, let's say they
Rutgers.
drop
Out the
that to
distance.
Rivera. They're 5-2.
First down.
Well, Fresno's with a win over Hanna is 6-1.
Correction, second down.
Those
Second
three
down.
teams all have better records than what Rivera would, even if they win out. They become a 4-3 team. Veterans Memorial with a win also becomes a 4-3 team. 1, 2, and 3 would be in some order: Harlingen, Los Fresnos, San Benito. It comes down to Veterans Memorial, Rivera at 4-3. Memorial owns that tiebreaker.
Absolutely. So then there you go. That's again, this is a projected final.
That's fans, the big if, capital I, capital F, bold type, underline, italics if you need to make sure you see it, and highlighted in yellow. But that would be if Rivera wins tonight and wins next week in San Benito. Then you're looking at them getting a record, having a record of 4-3, which again is respectful considering the fact they started the season 0-6.
And you and I, mainly you kept saying this Rivera team is good. They're 0-1. They're 0-2. They're good. But we were there back in Edinburgh when they played against the Cougars. They did about everything right, and they just, they lost that heartbreaker. I believe it was overtime. And then the following week, the same thing, But each week they kept losing, and they're the best 0-3 team, the best 0-4 team. And when this game started, I said, don't count them out, because last year they had the same start. They ended up making the playoffs, and then they beat Mac High in the first round. It was a big upset. Eagles trying to run out this clock and try and head into the locker room. They'll be facing a 3rd and long after that run.
And Kev, you have to figure that if they make the playoffs somehow, some way, which I don't see many ways they can pull it off now without some big-time upsets taking place, they would be at least considered to be a contender, if not a favorite, in their first-round playoff game, despite the fact they're going to come in again with a losing record.
That was the case last year when they played against Mac High. Mac High ran the table. They won their district, and I think they were more shocked than we were when that Rivera team went into Mac High and beat them.
But unfortunately, it's going to come down to did you win the city championship in Brownsville? And the answer would be no. You lost to Veterans Memorial, who did, in essence, run the table in the Brownsville schools.
And I really think, all year I've been pulling for Veterans Memorial. I'm a Marcus Castillo fan, but what I saw last night, when Castillo, I think any team, when their quarterback's not healthy, they're just not that very good. And last night they became one-dimensional, and they went from using one quarterback to 3 quarterbacks, and it just,
3 quarterbacks all doing the same thing.
Yeah.
No one scrambling around, no one adding that extra dimension. It's we're going to run the ball, try to get it off tackle, try to get it up the middle, go with a deep ball once in a while, but pretty much like you said.
Too much pressure is being on the shoulders of Derek Rodriguez. He can't do what he did every night when we saw him do against San Benito. So, defense will adjust. The Eagles punting this one away to the Raiders. Rubio's going to let this one roll, and the Eagles will come in and down it. And again, I think I told you this earlier, when Castillo is 100%, in my opinion, he's the second best quarterback in the Valley behind Lance Madden. But with that injury we saw against San Benito, he played a little bit last week in their loss against Harlingen. And last night he just did not look 100%. And when you take Derek Rodriguez out of the running back position and you force him to become a quarterback all the way around, it just it doesn't add anything to your offense. It just takes away from which weapons they have.
You're gonna get some people's attention right there, saying second best quarterback in the Valley. When you got some fans in Mercedes pretty high on their quarterback. You got some fans in Mission Veterans who are saying, wait a minute.
No, Santos Varela, he's a stud, no doubt about it. But again, I said when Castillo is healthy, 100%, I believe he's second best.
And there's even going to be some fans that's going to say, what about is he backup or third string quarterback at Sherryland? Are you saying he's better than Diego Chrysler? Let's say you were drafting a football team and you're starting quarterback and you had the second pick in the Valley and you were going to start a quarterback. Would you then?
I'd stick to my guns. I'd take Marcus Castillo. I'm going to sink with the ship.
Over Diego Chrysler.
Good choice.
Good choice.
Stick to it. That pass is incomplete, in and out of his hands at the 29-yard line. 1:02 left in this first half, and it's all Raiders. And again, folks, in case you're just tuning in, that first quarter was all Rivera. They jumped out to a 22-0 lead. They just added on to it here. Kevin Arrow, Joe Bowling, KBSD 17, ValleyCentral.com, wrapping up Week 10 of Valley High School football here at Sam's Memorial Stadium with the Eagles. And the Raiders both come in again. We kind of sorted out the district a little bit, but these two teams fighting for a potential playoff spot. So far, things are looking good if you're a Raiders fan, not so much if you're a Golden Eagles. 2nd and 10. Elizondo, here comes the blitz. Hit as he was thrown. That pass is going to be complete. It's going to be Chris Zuniga.
Did a nice job of hanging in there, knowing he was going to get hit. Got that completed pass out there.
And in the other districts as well, some teams have already punched their tickets to the playoffs.
Yeah, tomorrow morning as we do a little promo here, Sunday Sports Extra, Clay and I will be talking about districts where everyone's already that's wanted to be in. You know, your districts are decided as far as where they're at. There's still some positioning games, but we'll have that Sunday Sports Extra. Nice pass here.
It was thrown incomplete off the fingertips of a diving Edward Rubio. 49 seconds left in the first half. You got the other side of the 31-6A, that district. Those teams have already punched playoff tickets. I think it's just a matter of seeding.
Yeah, positioning game. Westaco East at Tanaco Bowl will have some meaning as it will decide not only the city championship there in the city of Westaco, but it'll also decide the outright district champion. And
Holding.
At one point
Offense,
in time,
number 72. That penalty
people
declined.
had written
Fourth down.
Westaco off, and yet here they are, ready to vie for that district title.
Both Westaco and Westaco East 4-1.
Timeout.
North and Edinburgh
Rivera,
both
the
at
third and final
31-2.
timeout.
They're
First
all
half.
in. They're all 4 teams are in.
So we know that if the Economides would have pulled off that win against Westlaco, next week would have been a winner-take-all between Edinburgh North and Economides, but that's not the case. And again, all those that district is much more easier than this 32-6A district. Timeout on the field. 4th and 7 coming up for the Raiders. Ball's on the 37-yard line. 49 seconds left in this one.
Just below you, I see the district standings there with Port Isabel, Rio Hondo, Raymondville. All 3 are playoff bound, as will be Orange Grove, who is currently beating Port Isabel. It was 20-0 in the second quarter in that ball game. Of course, it was moved back from yesterday to tonight. Even hoping I might have some highlights on that tonight, 10 o'clock on Action 4.
I know the rain got to that one. I saw that was pushed back.
Rain got to that one, and so did the road trip, at least. Right now it's 33-7. That's a final. Orange Grove defeats Port Isabel.
Wow.
So PI falls, and I tell you what, that's people said that Orange Grove wasn't going to be that good. They were going to be a down football team, but they have history with Port Isabel.
Oh, they do.
And it was a home game in Orange Grove, and they were ready. Long field goal attempt here.
It's going to be no good. 41 seconds left in this one. 29-0. Raiders still have the lead. Eagles will have the football. They have 3 timeouts remaining, and I think it was 2 years ago when I was at that playoff game with Orange Grove and Port Isabel in Kingsville, and Port Isabel kind of just welcomed him onto the turf and said thank you very much and swept them back off.
And so there's history there. That's what I'm saying.
Last
season. Yep.
Yeah, that's right. It was the second round last year.
There's history there, and Orange Grove is a good football team right now, and Port Isabel is a young football team that relies heavily on not making many mistakes. And when they do make mistakes, as was the case against Rio Hondo, as is probably going to be the case when we sort this one out tonight, can't make mistakes with the young squad that they have.
That run going nowhere. Gonzalez on the carry. 26 seconds and counting. And that's the 4A district. Port Isabel, Raymondville, Rio Hondo. 2nd and 12. I think the Eagles are just going to go ahead and take their time.
Coaching staffs are vacating the press box. We will not have another play after this.
That pass is complete, or incomplete. It drops the ball. That was Marco Garcia, the intended wide receiver. 5 seconds left here in the first half. And a first half that has been dominated by Danny Elizondo. He's rushed for 3 touchdowns. He has the hat trick tonight. And then he has one through the air to Edward Rubio.
Speaking of mess, how about the SEC? Thank you, Florida, says the Missouri fan.
What's going on in the world of college football?
Florida beats Georgia.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's an upset.
Texas Tech is going on as we speak.
I just know A&M got a win today.
A&M got a win,
Ugly
and it was an
Ugly
ugly win. I got highlights of that coming up at 10 o'clock tonight as
Ohio
well.
Island. Halftime here at Sam Stadium. Raiders 29, Eagles nothing. Stay tuned for the second half. You're watching ValleyCentral.com.